But to another hurdle, or at least one of the main challenges that is facing the Speaker once the House business resumes proper.
The Kenya Kwanza Alliance in the National Assembly will be pushing for the exclusion of members from 4 political parties now within the Azimio One Kenya coalition in the determination of who has majority in the House, arguing there is an ongoing case over their continued stay in the coalition.
According to key figures within the Kenya Kwanza Alliance in Parliament, the 4 parties, Maendeleo Chap-Chap, Movement for Democracy and Growth, the United Democratic Movement and the Pamoja African Alliance, are in Azimio against their will.
NTV's senior political affairs reporter Kennedy Mureithi now reports.
When the National Assembly resumes next week and the real work of Parliament starts, one of the hurdles the Speaker of the National Assembly will have to get over is the question of which political formation has the majority. According to the Azimio One Kenya coalition, they have 172 members, while their competitors in the government side, that is Kenya Kwanza, have around 165 members. Kenya Kwanza argues that cannot be the correct position, noting the recent events that have seen a number of political parties desert Azimio One Kenya, with their MPs asserting that should count for something. The United Democratic Movement has 7 MPs. The Maendeleo Chap-Chap has 2 MPs. The Pamoja African Alliance has 3 MPs. And the Movement for Democracy and Growth has 1 MP.
If you look at the arithmetics, after the elections and the people who have been gazetted and sworn in, we have the highest number of seats. Whether you look at it from the purview of individual political parties or even coalition of political parties.
I hear some people saying that now they are going to remove UDA and make it have UDA as a party, ODM as a party, WIPE as a party. That is not the spirit of the law. It's not even the letter of the law. The law is clear. It's a party or coalition of parties. Meaning, where you don't have coalition of parties, it will be a party. Where you have coalition of parties, then it is coalition of parties.
And Azimio One Kenya was then registered as a coalition political party. That Azimio coalition political party is not a parliamentary party because it doesn't have a single member of parliament.
There is the Azimio One Kenya coalition, which is both a political party and a coalition of party. And this has been allowed by our law. We amended the Political Parties Act to allow this to be in place.
A coalition agreement is subservient to a provision of the Constitution and more so in the Bill of Rights.
The Azimio One Kenya coalition is depending on the legal interpretation of the law, banking on Article 108 of the Constitution, which states there shall be a leader of the majority party and a leader of the minority party. The leader of the majority party shall be the person who is the leader in the National Assembly of the largest party or coalition of parties. The leader of the minority party shall be the person who is the leader of the National Assembly of the second largest party or coalition of parties. Kenya Kwanza, however, holds Azimio One Kenya is holding political parties hostage.
Azimio today says we signed a pre-election agreement with UDM, but the leader, Senator Ali Roba, has pretended they never signed anything. Chap-chap, pa, they will tell you they were only shown under duress, a dotted line of a 1-page document to sign.
If they were coerced, there is a process to prove coercion, and that is the process they must follow. If they were just given the dotted line to sign, they must go to court and prove that that is the case. Then the court will pronounce itself that now they are legally and officially out of the coalition.
The Kenya Kwanza Alliance now wants the Speaker to set aside the 4 political parties, as there is a case in court challenging their continued stay in Azimio. This will affect about 13 MPs who the coalition is banking on.
Just like in marriage, where the 2 partners may have issues, before the divorce is finalized in court, it is still a marriage. You cannot enter into another marriage until the divorce that is in court has been finalized.
Where is there a dispute? Because Azimio Council, which was chaired by Uhuru Kenyatta, refused to exit parties that wanted to exit Azimio. And they refused to convene the meeting that they were supposed to convene to allow them to exit.
They signed the agreement that 3 months before election and also 3 months after election. Now after 3 months after election, they can move, and that will be maybe end of November.
My friends and my good friend and my chair, Opiyo Wandayi, he should start internalizing himself that he's the leader of the minority coalition.
With both teams having advanced their arguments for and against the stance they are taking, the decision now rests on the Speaker.
It's not even for the Speaker to make a ruling. In fact, I would be shocked the Speaker would act rogue, in my view, if he attempted to define which side is a majority and which other side is minority.
Nothing has come before me yet, so I don't want to preempt any issue. When it does come, we'll give it a reasoned approach and communicate to the parties involved. I'm sure it's not a difficult thing to decide. When it comes, we look at the law, we look at the constitution, we look at the standing orders.
Kennedy Mureithi, NTV.